and gentlemen, I'm pleased to welcome you to Government House this morning for the swearing in and appointment of a new minister. The making of ministerial appointments falls to me as Governor, acting on the advice of the Premier under Section 58 of the Constitution. Let me now simply hand over to Premier Burt to make his announcements of appointments, after which the relevant oaths will be taken. And as Governor, I look forward to working with the new Minister and wish him every success in carrying out his duties and responsibilities. Premier.
Your Excellency, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As a community, our collective attention has been diverted to managing the change that COVID-19 has forced upon us. It sometimes feels that all our energies are focused on making it through the various phases to achieve some return to normality. After months of doing all that we could to protect Bermuda and shield our most vulnerable, the priority of the work for the government is to shift our operation to a mode that urgently delivers on the socio-economic package needed to renew this country's future. Early in this pandemic, I determined that our communication strategy had to be one that exerted the greatest possible reach to ensure the saturation of every media available with the information required to keep us safe. That challenge was issued, and the assignment has been carried out with an energy and innovation that has rivaled larger countries' attempts at doing the same things. The team that delivered on this imperative has been led by Minister Jamal Simmons. In spite of the fact that he leaves the cabinet today, he has accepted my invitation to remain as a junior minister to continue assisting me via the Office of the Premier in this invaluable role of communications. His insight and shrewd advice about how to distill messages for the consumption of busy, hard-working men and women is an asset to the important task of informing the public of their government's work on their behalf. I thank Minister Simmons for making the sacrifice and continuing on as a junior minister to ensure that the size of cabinet is not expanded in this era of tight budgets. His willingness to continue to serve epitomizes the spirit that is required of all Bermudians. Make no mistake, the historic arguments and hardened positions on immigration in Bermuda may not have changed. But the economic impact of the pandemic means that there is an urgency in this area that demands the focus of a single minister and ministry. With the creation of this ministry, the Ministry of Labor, I have determined to unite the areas of government that promote the training and employment of Bermudians with a unit that can serve to protect their interests when they seek employment for which they are qualified. We must put our people back to work now and prepare those displaced by the pandemic to assume the jobs that will be created as we recover. Adding financial assistance to this ministry will ensure that there is no gap between returning to work those able-bodied men and women who may have fallen on hard times. I have asked MP Jason Hayward to take on this considerable challenge, and I'm confident that he brings the necessary combination of labor experience, energy, and acumen to what may be considered the linchpin of building a new economy for Bermuda. MP Hayward also has the empathy and balance required to preside over the culture shift that will be a part of what must be done in immigration. Thank you, Minister Hayward. We are in phase 2, and I expect to signal later today when we will move to phase 3 next week. With COVID-19 set to be a part of our lives and the requirement to keep up an enforcement regime that is itself more than a full-time job, I have asked Minister Keynes to devote his full attention to this effort and the inevitable enhanced border protection that will result. At this afternoon's press conference, I will set out further alterations to ministerial responsibilities, but I can indicate now that consistent with my responsibilities for economic development, I have assumed responsibility for the Bermuda Casino Gaming Commission. Additionally, responsibility for municipalities will now be that of the Minister of Public Works. More than a new normal, there is harsh reality. The changes made today will allow the government to better tackle that new reality. We must prepare to move beyond phases and regulations to the work of redefining how we create economic activity and grow this economy. People without jobs need to have hope that we, as their voice, will do more than advocate for them, but that we will make laws and adopt policies that build the fair and equitable society so desperately needed for a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier. May I now invite Mr. Hayward to come and take the oaths as a Minister.
I, Jason Paul Hayward, do swear I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and her successors, according to law, so help me God. I, Jason Paul Hayward, being appointed a minister, do swear that I will do the best of my judgment at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not accept with the authority of the cabinet, and to such extent may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the cabinet, or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as minister, or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be true and faithful minister. So help me God.
Thank you, sir. Can I now invite you to come and sign the two oaths at the signing table? Thank you, Minister. You are now duly appointed. May I now invite Simmons to come and take the relevant oaths for his new appointment as a Junior Minister.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I, Jamal Snape Simmons, being appointed Junior Minister, do swear that I will, to the best of my judgment, at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other persons for the time being lawfully performing the due functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not except with the authority of the Cabinet and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as a junior minister or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be a true and faithful junior minister, so help me God.
Thank you, sir. I also invite you to sign it. Thank you. Thank you, sir, and I also look forward to working with you in your new capacity. May I now invite Minister Hayward, if you would so wish, to offer a few words.
Good morning. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Premier for providing me with this opportunity. As the Premier said, we are transitioning from a healthcare crisis to navigating an economic crisis. The portfolios that I have now taken on will be critical in moving the country forward. It will be critical in getting Bermudians back employed. I give my full commitment to this position, and I thank the Premier again for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Premier and the country for giving me the opportunity to serve. My career has been interesting, and I think that my greatest power is not just compassion for the people, but resurrection. And we are at a time now when sacrifice is required. And we are at a time when we cannot do things the way we've always done. And so I'm prepared to make this sacrifice, and I'm calling on others. There are many in this country who have never been asked to sacrifice, who have never been asked to do their part. It is time for everyone to step up, make a sacrifice to do what's good for the country. And so, Premier, thank you for the opportunity to serve. I promise to serve with great enthusiasm and vigor in this role. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That brings an end to the formal proceedings and appointments. And I know that everybody has busy days at the moment, but ladies and gentlemen, if you have time to stay for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee at Government House for a few minutes, you are